uh, we have to figure out or we have to list all the customer who have placed orders for consecutive 3 days. So let's say customer placed order on 1st of August, then he placed on an order on 2nd of August, then on 3rd of August. So like that. So we have to fetch only those customers. So let's see the structure of the orders table. This table where we can see we have the order ID, product ID, customer name, and the order date. So to solve this problem, we don't really need these two. We only have to use customer name and the order date. So we have to devise a way how we can compare the dates. So there are multiple ways. There are some functions available which can compare the dates. Okay, and we can use that as well. I'm just going to start with a very simple one. Okay, so let's say we need the customer ID. Okay, customer name on orders. Okay, let's give it a name C. Okay, and then we can do where. Okay, so one way to do this is using um, self join or using multiple using the same table as multiple table like this. Orders C2, orders C3, like that. Okay, so why we need these three tables? Because we have to compare, we have to check three different dates. First, if we are picking today's date, let's say we are picking one row, okay, and it has today's date. Okay, then what it will do, it will compare the same table in an same row in another table. Okay, and it will check whether it's matching the date or not, if there is a difference, like if the date difference is one or not, to check the next date. So like that. So that's how it will work. Okay, so what we'll have to do, we have to do how we can join these. Customer name equals to C2, customer name, and C1 dot customer name equals to C3 dot customer name. So this is like these two are like very basic one based on a single, like with these two conditions we are selecting one single customer. Okay, now for that customer what we have to do, we have to compare the date. So for C1 dot order date equals to C2 dot order date minus 1. So we only need so let's say, so we are comparing the row from one table C1 table to the other table C2. Okay, so we only need that row where the date difference is 1. So that's why I wrote C2 minus C2 order date minus 1, and C1 dot order date equals to C2 dot order date. And what this will be, this will be minus 2 because we need for 3 days. So for the first day we got this one, and if we do and, so it will, what it will do, it will first check this condition. If this is true, then it will check this one, and so what should be the difference, should be 2. Okay, so if I run this, so okay, there's some problem. Customer name, okay, I forgot to write it C1 dot because we only need the customer name. Okay, there's a problem. C1 dot, okay, there's a problem, I believe. Okay, let me think, because there could be multiple C2, C3 customer and C1 customer. Okay, C1 dot order date C2 minus. Okay, sorry, I made a mistake here. Okay, because we are comparing with uh, okay, so before I remove distinct, what it will do, it will give us all the rows available which are satisfying or matching with these conditions. Okay, but we don't need multiple rows, we only need the distinct values. So this will return something like this. And if I do something like c1 dot order date comma c2 dot order date comma c3 dot order date, then we can understand it better. Okay, so if I look here, the order date was 1/9. Okay, so we started with this condition. It matched the customer name and it picked one customer. Okay, then it checked for this one, c1 dot order date, c1 dot order date equals to c2 dot order date minus 1. So if I look here, c2 dot order date is 2/9, and if I minus 1 from this date, it will be 1/9. So it's satisfying this condition, that it went into the this condition, c1 dot order date equals to c3 dot order date minus 2. So what it will do, it will check c3 dot order date, which is 3 9, and it will minus 2. Minus 2 means 1/9, which matches with the original order date. So that's why it returned this customer only. Okay, but we don't need uh, these columns, so that's why I'm just commenting it out and running it, and we are getting the customer. Okay, so and this was the method one. Okay, so there are few other methods. So this one was without using any functions. Okay, so that's how I wrote this query. So there is one more where you can just do like multiple levels of join. So like first you can fetch for um, order date minus 1. Okay, then join again with the same table, and then you can do c3 dot order date minus 1 again, because then minus 1 will be your current order date, and it will check for the next available date. Okay, so I'm not going to write that one. So let's check the other one, other method which I got. So other one is like filtering the like required data, we may need to write a simple query. Okay, so for that we can use with clause. Okay, and we can save that table, and then we can just write a query to fetch the data out of it. So it will work in the similar way. So let's say, let me quickly run this one first. Okay, so okay, so to I think what we can do to use with clause, and with help of these with clause, what we can do, we can create something like this, some structure like this. But in that, what it will have, the order date, and this will be the next date, and the previous date, or whatever you can write it. Okay, so let's do that. Let's start with that. Okay, so first we have to write a query which can return something like this. So for that we can use lag function, lag and leave. So what we need, customer name. Okay, and we need uh, order date, and then we can use lag, and lag, we can apply it on order date. Okay, and what it will do, it will do the partition by, because we need only for customer name, so it will do that, customer name and order by order date. So to find out uh, okay, so what it will do, it will partition the data based on customer name. Basically it will be grouping the data, and then it will be ordering the data based on the order date. Okay, so if I use that as okay, let's not name it period. Okay, period. Okay, I'm just going to run till here only on orders. Okay, I'm just going to, okay, orders, it was orders. So if I run this, so as you can see here, what this is doing, it sorted the it grouped the data based on the customer name, and then it ordered it based on the order date. So as you can see here, 1 2 3, and it also return the previous state, whatever the previous value available on that group. So 10 was the previous value uh, available in the group for this particular customer. And if you look into the 2, it returned 1. In 3, it returned 2. In 3, it returned 3. So what lag will do, lag will group the data, okay, and it will return you the previous value basically from the group. So that's how it works. And lead will do the same, but it will return the next value from the group. Okay. Okay, so we got this data. So now I believe we can use lead as well. Okay, if I do the same thing on lead, order date over partition by customer name, order by order date as, let's name it next date. Okay, okay, if I run this, so it will be giving us the next date available in the group. So as you can see here, group based on the customer name, then order the data based on order date. Okay, and if you look here, so previous date, so it didn't have 10 didn't have any previous value, so it returned as null. The next value, so next value is 1, so it returned as 1. Similar, in similar way, it returned all the values correctly. Okay, so now we got the table, like the kind of table we wanted. Now what we can do, we can save this table in uh, save this table, and then we can use it later on. Okay, so let's name this table as our intermediate table. Okay, as, okay, we save this table. Now, so we got this the view of the table which we stored here. Now what we need, like what exactly we need? So we only need the customer name from this table. Okay, from, this is the name of the table. Okay, where, so this is the good example, like what we can do clearly here. So let's say we have the order date, the previous date, and we got the next date. So there are multiple ways to do this, but if you look here in these columns, previous date and next date, so basically there's a difference of 2 between next date and the previous date. So what we can do, we can utilize that. So there's a function called date difference. Okay, date date difference, where you can put the previous date. Okay, you can previous date and the next date, and what should be the difference of these two? It should be 2. Okay, so if I run this, so it will return us the correct value. Okay, I might have done something. Okay, this is how it works. Let's run it again. Okay, good, it's working now. These were the two ways uh, in which you can uh, find the customers who made 3 consecutive uh, who please order for 3 consecutive days. And also we also could understand the how these lag and lead will are working. Okay, so that's all. Thank you.